First to Michigan for the latest on the auto worker strike and the arrival of the president any moment now, Phil.
And the motorcade has been seen at a GM parts and distribution center not far from here. I believe it's up in Belleville. We're waiting for the pool feed to show up, and then we will get some comments that are being taped with the president there, where he meets with some of the UAW members who are on strike there. Whether or not you formally say he is picketing with them or is simply meeting with them, he is clearly showing support for the organized labor movement here in Michigan and for the United Auto Workers. And when he's there, he is expected to give some brief remarks. As soon as we hear from the president, we will relay those to you. Against this backdrop of the president's visit tomorrow and Donald Trump coming to Michigan, or president's trip today, Donald Trump coming to Michigan tomorrow, there is negotiations continuing between the UAW and the big three automakers, though there's probably some type of a pause going on as we speak right now. Here's the latest on those negotiations. First of all, Ford and the UAW, they are battling over an EV battery plant that is planned for about 100 miles west of here. We're not going to go into all the details here, but this is at the heart of the debate over this contract, the negotiation. What happens with those battery plant jobs, EV manufacturing jobs? Are they UAW jobs? And at what pay scale do those people get represented if they are with the UAW? Then there's Stellantis. It put out a note yesterday saying, look, we are ready to negotiate and to award a large raise to the UAW, but our costs have to be competitive. And Stellantis says for its cost to be competitive, it has to benchmark those against foreign automakers here in the United States and ultimately against Tesla. And finally, there's General Motors. It continues in its discussions with the UAW, but we get no sense that an agreement is in the offing, whether it's with GM, Stellantis, or with Ford. So again, we are waiting to hear from President Biden. That should be momentarily. And this is a little unusual, guys. They are not doing this where he's in a big rally and there's a whole bunch of press there. It's a pool reporter and a pool photographer who are with him as he meets with some of the rank and file members of the UAW, and then they will feed that out.
There's the president. We're looking for that black hat. He is making his way in a blue windbreaker. If you can kind of peer through those picket signs, he's about to take the horn. I don't know if we can try to listen in.
When I was a senator since 1973, but I tell you what, first time I've ever done it as president. Folks, look, one thing is real simple, and to be very brief. The fact of the matter is that you guys, the UAW, you saved the automobile industry back in 2008 and before. Made a lot of sacrifices, gave up a lot, and the companies were in trouble. But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well, too. The simple Stick with it, because you deserve the significant raise you need and other benefits.
Let's get it!
Let's get back what we lost, okay? Yeah. We say them, it's about time them to step up for us. Thank you. Now, there's a guy I know you don't know here, but I brought him along anyway. Sean Payne, your president. Yeah. Local 174, home of Walter Reuther.
There's President Biden, who just concluded some brief remarks into the bullhorn, which he just handed over to the UAW's president, Sean Payne. Phil, just for a quick recap, the president said, you guys, meaning the union workers, you saved the automobile industry in 2008. You gave up a lot. You sacrificed. They were in a lot of trouble. Now, guess what? They should sacrifice, too. The president said you deserve the significant raise you need and other benefits.
Exactly what he said, Kelly. And the argument that you would hear from executives at Ford, GM, and Stellantis are, we've made record offers. They are offering approximately 21% pay raises, in some cases, an increase in the cost of living adjustments, actually a return of those. Those were stripped out in 2008, 2009, a reduction in the number of tier wages so that workers are hired in much closer to the top wage scale. And from the perspective of the big three, they have made sacrifices in terms of making a generous offer, but they also are balancing that with what they believe they need to do in terms of being competitive with foreign automakers here in the United States, as well as with Tesla. And the fact of the matter is, they are in the midst of transitioning to electric vehicles, and they're nowhere close to making money on electric vehicles. And they believe that in order to do that, they have got to invest billions more over the years to come, and there is a limit to how much more they can give the rank-and-file workers. So that's the rub of all this, Kelly. Nobody's arguing, and you won't hear it at GM, that the workers don't deserve more. The question is your definition of more.
Sure. No, I'm still struck by the fact that the median worker at GM makes $80,000, and at Tesla, the median worker makes less than $35,000. So the structural challenges will persist. Phil, we'll let you go for now. We'll circle back soon. Our Phil LeBeau in Wayne County, Michigan. That's where we also find President Biden this hour meeting with UAW workers as the strike continues. Don't miss Last Call tonight. Brian Sullivan will also be live in Wayne, Michigan, with much more on the economic and political fallout as the strike continues. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CNBC.